The Ash, Lutzi and Susie Snackbox.
Burn! It's cold in here. I said there must be some content in the atmosphere. Here we go.
Yeah. Nick and Lockie today. I like your shirt. That's cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we spoke
Don't
about
speak.
That. Wow.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, see? I lured him in.
You got him. You got him.
He fell for it. He doesn't really like your shirt. He just tried to get you to talk.
All right, Nick, you ready? Here we go.
Outrage as Aussie haka divides the nation as the ray gunning of the nation is complete.
Yes, I don't understand this and I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the weirdest things I've seen.
Odd.
Weird, right?
I don't know about it.
Is it a rule that you have to wear green if you're doing brouhaha today?
Two green shirts. Do you like your shirt?
Not as much as Nick's, but it's fine.
See, Lucky's not talking.
Yep.
5 seconds, Lucky.
Wicked movie toys send kids searching for a different type of wicked toy.
Oh, that's good too.
I'm going to go the Nick one.
I'll go Lockie.
Oh, no. I don't know. Okay. What? I don't know. I want to hear the longer version of how's that? Oh, I'm gonna suck.
No.
No.
Just say which
Nick,
one you want.
Nick, I'll go for Nick.
It's okay.
I know the wicked toy though. I want to
that
find
to
out more about that.
That'll be a
I don't think
podcast
it's what you
deal.
think.
Yeah, do stick around for Lockie's. It's awesome.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
God.
No,
Thanks,
no,
Suze.
but it needs to be in the podcast. Yeah, I think
Oh, it is what you think.
Is it what we think it is?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't give up. Listen to the
Why
podcast
don't you just tell us
after
Nick's
the show. I'll tell you
Lockie's
what-
story?
Yeah. Well, no, you would have seen scenes over the weekend of a bunch of Australian netballers performing the NSYNC Bye 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 dance, made popular most recently by their Deadpool Wolverine film during the Fast 5 netball tournament.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I did. What is the Fast 5 netball tournament?
So like rugby sevens, AFL 9, that's netball trying to, I guess, speed it up. But also this is like a men's version as well. We've talked about it. Men play netball. They do. This is, so they've had like a...
What are they called? What's the Australian men's?
They call the Kelpies.
Kelpies, yeah.
Which is a great name.
Yeah.
I ran into them once at like, in my mind, it might have been Mr. Percival's.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a good chat with them. They were telling me about netball and I was going to come on air and talk about it and completely forgot.
Except, sorry, our song's on. Let's go. Dance floor, boys.
Exactly, yeah.
But, yeah, so anyway, and this is, again, I say the ray gunning of the nation because, well, again, Australians don't know how to feel about this. For years, we've always said, well, shouldn't we have a response to the haka? And really, we've got nothing there. We've got nothing. You saw maybe the Irish challenging the All Blacks haka over the weekend.
Yes,
that was cool. That was really cool.
I saw that. They sort of all
they walk
marched
along
up together. That was pretty cool.
I don't think it's as intimidating, sort of hitting the bye, bye, bye as you go past.
No.
But again, at the same time, we're going through the exact same thing right now. Half of the Australians going, yeah, this is cool. Finally, we have something. The other half going, I hate this.
No
I
one's
hate this
surely
so
no
much."
one's seriously going. Finally, we have something because that's just part of the.
Well, we've said this
Every
for about
team
30
does that,
for
right?
about
One
30
person
years,
who
though,
saw
yeah.
that and went, finally, we've found it.
Guys, we've got it. 90s Backstreet Boys.
Joseph Sawali pulled out for the Wallabies.
They brought it in.
Yeah.
So anyway, quickly, yes or no? Do you like it, Ash?
Oh, I laughed at it, but
Yeah,
it's
it
not.
was
It's
funny.
not coming back.
It looked fun, yeah. If it was an Australian song, maybe I would go for it more.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not an Australian song.
Your home among the gum trees, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Well, there we go. Listen out for Lockie's story on the podcast.
Okay.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie Snackbox.
I had a really good weekend and I spent a lot of it on the couch with Cliff, watching a lot of different things. Watched Missy Higgins' Australian Story, recommend. Bon Scott from AC/DC Australian Story, recommend. And Peter Garrett.
You're doing recommendation stations without playing the...
It's
Okay.
not official.
Is this a recommendation station?
Yep, because the one coming up is...
Recommendation station. Recommendation station.
Well, they all are, because you literally said the word recommend.
Oh, okay, but this one was the best one that I like. Martha on Netflix. It's all about Martha Stewart. So Martha Stewart was the famous sort of homemaker back in the... 90s, I reckon. She was massive. Oh, she was big on my radar. You guys mightn't remember her, but...
I remember her name. I remember
Yeah.
she did something with Snoop at one stage.
Yes.
too. Yeah, but I don't remember
Was
what
she
it
an
was.
interviewer?
Did she go to prison?
She went to prison, yeah.
Yeah.
So
What'd
basically...
she go to prison for?
She went to lying about insider trading.
Okay.
Kind of. She sold some shares that her friends sold at the same time. But they made an example of her.
Yeah.
It was like $45,000. And for her, she was the first self-made female billionaire in the USA.
Wow.
And she did it all after she was 50. It's a really interesting story. Here's the trailer. Let's listen to this first.
What does it mean to be the first female self-made billionaire in American history? If there was ever the original influencer, it's Martha.
The hardest thing is to retain cultural relevance as an older woman, and she's done it.
I was considered crazy, but it worked. She was preposterously perfect. Perfect little pattern. Perfect.
Things look fabulous, but are they?
Young women, listen to my advice. If you're married and your husband starts to cheat on you, he's a piece of shit. Get out of that marriage.
Didn't you have an affair early on?
Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that.
It's pretty funny. It's a really good documentary inside it.
That does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
Does Andy not watch her shows, by the way? Is he in for a surprise when he sits down to watch it?
No.
You did what?
I think he did know. He did know. Yeah, she's had some bad trouble with boyfriends. But I recommend it mainly because she gives a lot of advice as well about the time when she didn't go with her gut instinct and she did what people told her to do, which is when she came out of prison. Yeah, she went to prison for 5 months.
Wow.
But kind of barely insider trading. I mean, I know which means you find out that something's going to happen.
We can forgive her. Is that what you're saying?
In the share market before it.
No one died.
It happens. But when she came back, she just tried to make money. So she started doing all this stuff that wasn't really her. She goes, nah, stuff it. I'm going to go back to my roots. And she did a thing with what got her back into the kind of mainstream again. She did Justin Bieber's roast. You know those comedy channel roasts?
That's right. And she got, I remember that.
Yeah.
That everyone was just up having a crack at her because she just got out of prison.
She just got out of prison.
Yes, I remember that.
And they asked her to do Justin Bieber's roast because apparently he was going on a bit of a downward spiral, Justin Bieber, and his managers and stuff thought.
That's a famous roast.
That's a funny roast,
is it?
that one, yeah.
And thought he was going to go to prison, and so she was there as that. But everyone it turned into a roast about her.
Yeah, well, everybody cops it on those roasts.
Yeah.
But
it was very fun. I can't remember exactly.
And she was really funny.
And Bieber was funny on that too.
Yeah, we should watch that thing. That was good. And she sat
really
next
good.
to Snoop Dogg at that. And
That's
they got on.
That's what it
and
was.
they got on really well. And
Yes.
they started a cooking show together.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Isn't he the funniest
Well, it's funny.
guy?
As soon as you said Martha Stewart, I knew there was a connection there with Snoop somehow or other.
He said that. She said that he was. Is it called blunts? What?
Yeah.
He was apparently smoking blunts during the whole comedy channel thing, and she said she was getting wafts of it, and by the end of it they'd come up with this amazing idea to do a cooking show together. and it took off. So I definitely recommend that. It was
Where's that?
fascinating. It's on Netflix.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie Snackbox.
We had a great weekend in Sydney. Coldplay, we spoke about that was last Thursday. It seems like an eternity ago now. I touched on it Friday, but they've done 3.
Give us a more detailed one today.
They've done 3 concerts. I didn't go to the other 2, obviously, but went Thursday. But I tell you what, though, they had more time to think of it over the weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going out there. I'm not even going out on a limb. I think pound for pound, Coldplay are the best stadium concert in the world. I'd say it's daylight second for the best stadium experience concert. No one does it like Coldplay. There you go, I've said it.
You didn't go to Taylor Swift, though.
I've been to Taylor Swift in stadiums, Suncorp Stadium. I didn't go to that, you're right. But I think, Taylor Swift's the only one that comes close. And I say this because there are people out there going, mate, you didn't see Metallica in 1987. Like, I'm not saying...
You never saw the Gunners at the Speedway in Sydney back in the early 2000s.
That would have been good.
I didn't know. But my point is, you take music out of it. Like, just as an experience. I'm not a Coldplay fan. Taylor Swift that's almost a different genre. I don't know. Maybe Taylor Swift is a better
That
stadium
show's too long,
experience.
though, I think. Like, you're talking about for everybody.
Yeah, I haven't been to the latest one. I didn't go to the latest one. But Coldplay, just for they were the first ones to start the lighting up the stadium thing with the wristbands.
But they own that IP, do they?
Yeah, well, they were the first.
That's what they reckon, yeah.
Well, I think still to this point, everyone seems to use it now. They use it at the Olympics in Paris, but Taylor uses it, obviously. But that's a game changer.
How often do they use it?
A lot.
So you get it as you're coming into the stadium?
You get one as you come into the stadium, and then I think every song has some sort of choreo. And I don't know. I'm still trying to work out how they do it because it must be geo-mapped or something because, a Love Hearts will appear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't know. When you pick up the wristband, they don't know who's getting what wristband. So they must be able to geographically know where the wristband is. And by doing that, you can create almost whatever you want.
I can't wait for Origin, just like real quick this year.
Are they going to do that this year?
Well, they have to. Maroon.
Right, imagine that.
Oh, it's going to be unbelievable.
And I yell this from the rooftops, even on the Olympic podcast to do with Chris Jones, saying like our superpower with the Olympics is just light the things up. Let's get the young graduates from QUT and UQ to work out how we make cheaper LEDs, and I think we can make whatever stadiums we do end up with, if we just light them up,
bang for buck.
It's going to look amazing if we can create some magic there, because like the way Coldplay do it, and also just the clarity of the songs and the vocals of the songs. And again,
but what about the sound as well? Because I saw the Kid Leroy at that stadium. That's what they played at the Olympic Stadium, didn't they?
Yeah, out at the Bush.
For the NRL Grand Final. And like I said, I couldn't hear him. I don't know if it was just the way that it was.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
acoustically.
Sometimes you just can't hear him. I don't know what it is. Like Guns N' Roses, when they were here last year, whatever that was, you couldn't hear Axl. I think it's just the sound mixing and what they want you to hear, but Coldplay it's
good.
so clear.
Perfect. What was the best song they played? Fix You?
Probably Fix You was last. That gets me every time. And Yellow worked well because they had all the yellow lights on, like yellow wristband lights in the stadium. Yellow worked really well. Homebush is still a shithole. Getting out of it, it was raining. It was a nightmare. Absolute nightmare getting out of Homebush.
Was it train?
Nightmare.
Train?
I'll be happy if I never go there again.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It is. You get dragged out into the middle of nowhere, and then it takes forever, and then those trains are like so packed.
I'll tell you the big thing is, and it's another lesson for Brisbane, is just it's a night ender. Like the day doesn't start anywhere else other than you can't have pre-drinks anywhere, because then you got to get to the thing, and more importantly after it, like. There's no kick-ons. Like, you can't go, I'll see you in the city in an hour and a half, and we're going to continue. I've got to drive past my house, but I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
It's a real journey to get back home.
There's no, like, come out of the stadium and enjoy precincts. So then the city doesn't make any money.
And there's
no money for anyone else to make in pubs or clubs or restaurants.
No, and there's no quick way to get anywhere. You can't do it by car. No. You get
It's a
landlocked
nightmare.
there trying to get out of a car. The trains are just as bad.
We had a driver because we had a van. Couldn't find him. Like, Robert just didn't rock up. So like an hour after the concert, we're in the rain trying to hail a taxi in the middle of Homebush. It's a nightmare.
But Coldplay was good?
It was maybe the only reason I'd go to Homebush was to see a band of that quality. That's the only reason you'd go there. So it's just, again, it speaks for inner city, cool. And JC made this point in the paper on the weekend. He was saying, whatever we do for Olympics, for those major stadiums, it's got to be inner city and connect the city. And then throw money straight back into clubs and bars and restaurants and our economy.
You look at Lang Park, or Suncorp Stadium rather, like after a game, a big event at Suncorp Stadium, what lights up?
Yeah.
Caxton Street. Everything is right there. It's on it's at your fingertips.
Yeah.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie Snackbox.
Footy season might be over, but there's no off-season with KO Sports. Even though footy season's actually officially over as of yesterday.
Just finished yesterday.
Yeah, but get on board KO. There lots are going on in the off-season.
Yeah, Nico Pajarillo joins us, who does the commentary for, I think you do a bit of the rugby league commentary as well, but you're heavily involved with the UFC. There's a massive card coming up. Like, this is a stellar card, which is coming up November 16 in New York. Some of the all-time greats are going to be going at it. Why don't you talk us through UFC 309 first, Nico? How are you, mate?
Very, very well, guys. Thanks for having me. It's going to be massive. I've actually just rocked up to the Nova Studios in Sydney, suitcase in hand, because I'm literally going to fly to New York after this and straight to the airport. Swear to God. Yeah, only flying economy this time around, but that's all right.
Come on, KO.
You might get an upgrade.
Yeah, hopefully. But the fight.
You're not a politician, are you?
This is going to be huge, let me tell you. No, but the fights this weekend, fantastic. John Jones, the consensus greatest UFC fighter of all time, guys, taking on Stipe Miocic. It kind of reminds me a little bit of if you cast your mind back to the 2022 World Cup when Messi and Ronaldo were playing in potentially their last tournament. It's kind of the same feeling here, where it's like, yo, how lucky are we that we got to see these guys play live? How lucky are we that we get to see John Jones potentially in his last fight? It's that big, guys. Let me tell you.
Do you reckon John Jones he's the GOAT?
I certainly do. I think he is. And I feel like that's sort of the pervading mindset. I feel like that's, something that I think most people can agree on. This dude, like, what he's managed to achieve inside the octagon, basically undefeated, if not for a disqualification many years ago. The way that he fights, 15 title fight wins, 13 defenses. Man, John Jones, if you've not seen him fight live, definitely tune into Main Event this Sunday. It's going to be a cracker.
Timings are pretty good too, Nico. I mean, I think the prelims start on Sunday at 10. That's daylight saving time, so it'll be 9 o'clock Brisbane time. But then the main card, I think, starts around midday or a little earlier for Brisbane people. So perfect, really.
Perfect, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, no, it's great. And with footy sort of clearing up, it's a great time for people to tune in and hone in on other sports, fighting as well as cricket and everything else. So it's massive. Going to be huge, guys.
I tuned into KO yesterday, of course, for the final of the Pacific Championships. It was Australia up against Tonga, and then there was New Zealand beat the Kumals in the second game. But great, it's been great. This
been awesome.
Pan Pac Championships has been fantastic. International Rugby League is
alive
and well.
Hasn't the void between the big uns and the not so big uns come right in? But it's great for the game.
Not only that, but the crowd yesterday, it was a sea of red. It was a match in Sydney, a test match in Sydney.
Absolutely unbelievable. You think that, because it's a Kangaroos home game, you'd think that, it'd be a sea of green and gold. But I tell you what, in the heart of Parramatta, the Tongan fans really turned up and they nearly pulled off an incredible upset. Yeah. And to be honest, congratulations firstly to the Kangaroos, Pacific champions, for the second time. But the story, for mine, of this whole tournament is Tonga and just how well they performed and how they've been able to rally their community behind them. Yvonne Sampson was on the show last week here at Nova and she was talking about it. It's absolutely phenomenal, the way that the crowd sings, the hymns and the songs that they put together. It's fantastic. I was actually driving through Western Sydney yesterday to my parents' house in Rooty Hill where there's a big Tongan community. I reckon in that 15-20 minute drive I saw 6 or 7 cars decked out in Tonga flags and memorabilia. One bloke had his car fitted out with megaphones, Homer Simpson style. It was very, very good. But no, it was great to see.
You had that in Coldplay fans all in the Western City yesterday.
I think it's the best way to watch sport, isn't it? Because I also watch the highlights of the Wallabies on KO, and you can watch 16-minute versions. Perfect. You never want to watch the whole.
The minis.
Yeah, the minis.
Fantastic.
Excellent. To see the Wallabies win.
They're good for the Formula One too.
Yeah.
When there's a Formula One race on, they condense it down to 28 minutes,
perfect.
and it just makes it really digestible.
So good.
Yes. We should mention that too. Joseph Suali'i had not played a rugby match since I think he was playing for Australian schoolboys 5 years ago, Suze. Straight into the Wallabies team. Yeah. They beat England, massive upset, scored on the buzzer, and Suali'i was man of the match.
Wow.
Now, the cricket, we've played Pakistan in these in the ODIs. We've got T20s coming up. So it's a strange start to the cricket season, but we're on, Nico. It's on.
Oh, it certainly is. Really disappointing result in the one-day international.
I thought so as well.
Hugely disappointing. I mean, I know. Look, I know that we've got a number of Test players out. No Labuschagne, no Smith, no Cummins, Hazelwood, etc. But for Pakistan, and congratulations to them as well, the first series win of any kind in Australia in 22 years. Just let that sink in. Incredible performance from them, but for Australia to be all out for 140, hugely disappointing. But I'll tell you what it does, guys. It builds up this T20 series that we've got coming up, starting on Thursday on Fox Sports, on Fox Cricket. It makes it even bigger, right? Because the Aussies are they're out for revenge, aren't they? They're out to right that wrong, and they'll hopefully be playing with a bit of fire in the belly this time around.
Pakistani fans as well out in force.
Yeah, plenty to look forward to. And as you said, safe flight, mate, over to New York.
He'll be right.
How good's that going to be? UFC 309. Yeah, I hope you get an upgrade. Yeah.
Maybe next time. But I'll enjoy the fights nonetheless, guys.
Thanks, mate. Nico Parrillo from KO Sports.
The Ash Lutzi and Susie Snackbox.